So here we have the all-new 2024 Hyundai Sonata. This one comes in the SEL Convenience trim level in carbon blue. And then we have gray cloth interior. For the powertrain, we get a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engine. That's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And I'm just really impressed how good this thing looks in person. Again, this is all new. So as you come around to the front end here, kind of like the new Konas, we have that LED light bar strip and then the LED headlamps. And just a very, very sophisticated look here. And what's crazy is I wasn't expecting this to look as much like a Sonata as it does, like the outgoing model, but it still looks so fantastic. Down here we have 18-inch alloy wheels. We get passive keyless entry on the front doors. And to the door panel here, power door locks, power mirrors, and we do have power windows there, rear window lock. And like in the Ioniqs, basically what Hyundai's doing with all of these is just making this grab handle just very easy on the eyes, and it just looks so sleek. And down here, traction control, trunk release, electronic parking brake, hood release. We have a manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. It's freezing outside, so I'm gonna lower the fan speed so we can hear better in here, but I needed it to keep from freezing to death. And then here's our power driver's seat. We get two-way power lumbar support there. I actually have that seat leaned back way too far. There's that. That's about how I like to sit. I probably have the seat back too far back too, because I was doing something else before I started this video. But a huge shout out to Hyundai of Cool Springs for allowing me to review this Sonata SEL Convenience today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But there's a window sticker. Sticker price is $31,910. But let's go ahead and check out this rear seat room. Again, this isn't really gonna do it justice, but that's the leg room. I'm 6'3", and sitting behind someone who's taller than me, that's my leg room, but still not bad. Tons of space in this car. Seat back pocket on that side. We have two USB-C charge ports down there. Our middle seat folds down, and then we have bottle holders there. And then we do, with the convenience package, get this panoramic sunroof. And we have LED reading lights, so very impressive there, especially for this price point. So far, not seeing any obvious ways where Hyundai tried to be cheap with this car, specifically in this trim level. Now this was filthy. I wanted to get a review done before it sold, so I kind of spruced it up just a little bit, but it hasn't been detailed. But there's the back end there, and just a great looking rear end. I love that. But to the trunk space, decent size. And then we can also lower the rear seats from back here, or at least release them and lower them from the back, which I'll show you here in a minute. Taking a look underneath the vehicle, there's the exhaust there. And then as we come around to this rear passenger side, we can just fold this down. You can run longer objects from the back to the front. Top tethers are up there. And then our anchors are, ooh, I like that, hidden right in there. So you just push that down and then you have access. Very easy to get to. And just a neat design overall for that. And then our front passenger seat, I believe that's a 6-way. We can pump the seat up or down, seat back, seat bottom. And then a side pocket on either side there. Glove compartment's actually pretty good size, and the owner's manuals are in there. I love this trim. We'll get to the interior here momentarily, but I just love how they did that as well. And I apologize for the wind noise. It's been snowing the last week here, and now it's supposed to rain, so I wanted to get this one done as soon as possible. But there's that 2.5 liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. So we'll see how that does. And And then hopefully I'll be able to do the inline here after a while and compare those in terms of driving dynamics. But let's hop in the driver's seat here. And my seat back's way too far. But there's the leather wrap steering wheel there. Perfect horn sound. And I like how they kind of went with this, that 4-dot sequence like they have in the Ioniqs there. And it makes it just look that much better in terms of the steering wheel. And I love how it's like kind of cut there on either side. It makes it look super sporty. But to this new screen here, there's a navigation, and this really feels like a Genesis when you look at the buttons here, even like an upgraded Palisade, just with all the features you get here. But yeah, this reminds me exactly of the Genesis when you get in those, just the screen setup and all of that. Very, very nice. So we can pull up our vehicle diagnostics. And of course, we have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And then for audio, we get AM, FM, XM. And actually a pretty decent sound for the stock system. Let's see if I can pull up the backup camera. There's that there. Guidelines follow you as you turn the steering wheel, and a very good picture there. Down here below, we have our dual zone automatic climate controls. Fan speed can be adjusted there. I love the heated seats. You can just toggle up there. And I'm wondering if the seats are cooled, if this turns blue, and then you can turn those to the cool setting. But this one just has the heated seats here. And volume knob is here. I like how everything is set up. It's easy to use, easy to touch the buttons. They're nice and in your face, but they're also not too much, if that makes sense. Now down here, there's a 12 volt. We have a USB-C charge port and then a USB-C port for the CarPlay or Android Auto, as well as a wireless charging pad here. And that comes with the convenience package specifically. And then for your drive modes, you just hit this button and you have normal, sport, my drive. And then the automatic brake hold, your camera there. You hit that, automatically pulls that backup camera up. Bottle holders are here. And then your center console cubby space, pretty good size there. And there's the panoramic roof. And that's as far as it goes back one touch. And there's a look at the back seat from up here. And all of your controls are right there. But back to the steering wheel. Again, can't say enough about how nice this looks. But stock behind on the left side, blinkers, and you have your headlamps there. And auto, you can toggle your auto high beams. And then over here, you have your windshield wiper controls, one time off, intermittent low high. Then you can adjust those intermittent wipers there. Pull up here for the front wiper fluid. And then we do get paddle shifters, so love having the 8-speed here. I'm glad that the Camry and the Sonata still allow you to get an actual transmission that you can shift. So again, I can't wait to test these out and see how it does. But over here, we have our smart cruise toggle. And then we have our gauge cluster buttons here, so we can go through the sub menus here. And then within each sub menu, when applicable, we can scroll through the options. And then we can go ahead and toggle the cruise up or down there, gap adjust for that. And then we have the lane centering assistant there. And then over here, favorites button, which we can set up on the steering wheel. And then we have a favorites button down here we can set up from the radio. So you can give those two different functions if you want. Bluetooth here. And then we can go through our track list, radio station presets, volume, click for mute, and then we can go through our audio sources there. You can actually set up what you want to pull up. So you're not pulling up AM radio every time you go through the modes if you don't want to. And then for the shifter, it's down here. So pull there for reverse, tap up for neutral, pull all the way up for drive, press P for park. Then push button starts here. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And next it's time to take this 2024 Hyundai Sonata out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive of this Hyundai Sonata, I like how it still drives like I'm used to in the older Sonatas. But again, just with this updated cabin, I just feel like I'm in something much more distinguished than the older Sonatas. And the older Sonatas still look pretty good, but comparing it to this 24 is like night and day. They did such a phenomenal job redesigning this car. So we'll have to see how it compares to the new Camrys that are set to come out. And then the Accord just had a redesign here recently, and I think that really set the bar, because the Accord was very unexpected in terms of how sleek it looked compared to the outgoing model, and then of course the few four-door sedans that were left in general. But this definitely ups the ante, I think. Just a fantastic look. And then in terms of the just overall drivability, again, it drives pretty similar to the outgoing Sonata, not noticing anything different compared to this one, or compared to that one, excuse me. So if you are liking the older body style a little bit better, you want to save money, whatever, other than, again, the interior looks and then just the overall presence that this has when you see it driving down the road, you're not really going to be missing much, in my opinion. I mean, the seats still feel the same. And I do like that we have that power driver seat with the convenience package. But I can't wait to test the paddle shifters out getting on the interstate here. But just driving around town, I mean, it's just a very simple car to get used to. And you're getting 36 miles per gallon highway, I think 25 city. And just driving it, I mean, I'm doing about 35. It's very, very quiet. So I'm gonna activate the paddle shifters getting on the interstate here. And it's a little wet out, so I'm not gonna give it too much, but I am gonna get it up there just a tad. So definitely has very good pickup. Got a little space behind me, so I'm gonna give it a run. And here we go. Yeah, pretty quick. And the blind spot monitor is definitely come in handy here. Gonna test out the cruise for just a sec. So lane centering's on, and then we have the adaptive cruise activated. So just meant to be more of a driver aid, not necessarily semi-autonomous, but how I use my semi-autonomous system in my Mustang Mach-E, that's pretty much how I'd use this one. I don't like to kind of let it do its thing and not pay attention. But ride quality is great. And then even with the 18-inch alloy wheels, road noise is minimal. But what makes this such a great car, I think, is just that the cabin acoustics that you have here. Everything else considered, it's still pretty quiet in here, whether the road noise was a big deal or not. I don't feel like I have to yell at my passengers and things of that nature. Now, if you want to take this out of the manual mode, just hold that plus paddle down. Otherwise, it'll stay in there for the most part. And I like that because a lot of modern cars, or I should say modern vehicles, they let you paddle shift for a minute or whatever, and then it puts you right back into the automatic mode whenever it thinks it should. And this gives you more of that freedom to do what you want when you want. But I think for the price point compared to everything else out, this is at least top 2 for sedans, I think. Just compared to the Camry, of course, the Malibu, the few that are left. Until everything else starts getting its redesign, we'll just have to see. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this all-new 2024 Hyundai Sonata SEL Convenience.